something haunting about wasted potential. It is the unheard mysteries that lay dormant between the pages of untouched textbooks. For through the voices that come whispering out, one told me all I needed was a chance, because screaming at the wind wasn't enough to convince the world I was on my side. He said, young man, you got a lot to learn. And I'm sure he had a lot that he wanted to teach.
When I first heard about the Beerline Trail, I was a resident. My mother and I had attended kind of a safe growth report that we were working on, and that's the first time that I heard about it. So it was in its real developmental stages at that point. The next time that I started to hear a lot more about it, I had become a LISC AmeriCorps member, and I was serving a term at Riverworks as their community outreach specialist. We met with a group of people. They brought out a giant map that like people put dots on to kind of imagine like what it might look like and what might be there or whatnot. So for me, that's when I started to get excited about it, because now, you know, we get input from the people that's around here that's gonna be able to use it. The playground build, the Kaboom playground build on First and Palmer. I was the project manager for that build from start to finish with Kaboom. Even after my service term was over with Safe and Sound, they contracted me to stay on to see that project through to the end. It was amazing.
After that project, we partnered with Riverworks, partnered with AWE to do a park enhancement project. And really what that was, we turned any existing wood into superhero green objects. So we turned the planters into vehicles, we turned the recycling into like the control station type of thing. And we painted the benches and allowed kids to write messages on them. And we also taught kids how to do self-portraits.
The next time that I started to hear a lot more about it, I did attend the SAS. I don't know if it was the original one, but I did attend one that was pretty big. From there, I was all in. I was like, okay, this is gonna be dope. So when they started talking about like what could be developed from that process, like businesses, more economic growth, housing opportunities, I'm like, okay, so now we're thinking more widespread about improving the community as a whole. I mean, what can I do to help?
Riverworks Week is a pause in our lives to stop and celebrate some of the activities that are going on in Riverworks. And the objectives of the week are to promote Riverworks as Milwaukee's creative district, to promote our real estate. I think a lot of people don't understand the diversity and the amount of real estate that we can help bring businesses into. We have some lots that are developable from scratch. We've got some old arcane buildings that are perfect for studio space and creative work. And we still have some good manufacturing facilities with good bones that could welcome that distribution. We want to bring some attention to the district. This is an old industrial park that kind of wraps up at 5 o'clock at night. We're looking to build some restaurants and coffee shops. This is a place to invest and grow and contribute to Milwaukee's economy. We have amazing assets right here that too often get overlooked.
This year, Riverworks has really embraced the idea of creative placemaking, deliberately investing in art and culture. And we think that that really does play an important role in community development.
I knew that I needed to come up with a really good plan and come up with an idea that would bridge the communities of Harambee and Riverwest. Being the light, bridging the community, and thinking about the word Harambee and how it was formed in 1970 as it's a Swahili for bridging together. Thought about Riverwest and the Polish settling in 1800s, and they used to call it the land beyond the hill.
This will be hopefully a destination for residents in both neighborhoods to take advantage of and really bring this community together around art and culture.
I was really drawn to this project mainly because I live right in this area. I've lived like right behind the trail in Harambee, and now I live like right on the other side of Holton and Locust, right in Riverwest. The idea of like bridging Harambee and Riverwest and kind of bringing people out of their houses and into like a community setting to kind of explore their neighborhood or their our area is like a simple but powerful idea, I think. Just getting neighbors to know each other from either side, and discovering that we have this like awesome park being built right in the middle of our neighborhoods is really great.
I think art changes the world. It makes it better. It gives a conversation. Art is really, really important, especially in this social climate that we live in today. And beyond that, most art is closeted in museums and galleries. And even if people have an appreciation for that art, if they get to see it, they're afraid to walk in that door in the very first place. And this, you don't have to walk in a door. You can just be riding your bike or walking your dog, and it's there for you to enjoy as much or as little as you want.
If one young person walked by and saw me painting this or sees this done and thinks to themselves like, hey, that's cool, I want to paint a mural one day, I think that is worth it in itself there.
My name is Sarah DeLyden, and part of what I do is consult with the Greater Milwaukee Committee on their creative placemaking initiative. So we're together today because we're actually going to be getting some brain food, looking at a number of sites in Chicago that are just really wonderful examples of creative placemaking.
This is a very powerful group, but this is not normally the way you see Milwaukee. No. What we are here are a mosaic of many different kinds of people with experiences, and if Milwaukee could truly represent what's on this bus, it would be unlimited, the kind of things we could accomplish. But it isn't say that it has to be seen, it just has to happen, and on this bus, things can happen.
The politics of staying, that really resonated for me. It pushes against the forces of gentrification, and it gives another conscientious awareness to the work that we're doing, that don't drive people out of the neighborhood, but that build and construct and create spaces where people stay engaged with each other.
From the Arts Incubator, and we'll be traveling farther north in Chicago to the 606 Trail. 606 Trail is a point of reference for us, particularly for the work we're doing up on the Beerline Trail right now.
One of the things that I find about when I see murals is I think that's an artistic community. That's what draws me to going to different areas, and then that's what I was hoping to achieve. That's why it was exciting to be part of this project, especially in this area, was to kind of draw people to the area. Again, I was thinking of the community, I was thinking of the train, and I was playing with some movement with the tracks. I also was playing around with street signs, so I was doing a little bit of that, a lot more of that. And the welcome was the bringing together of the two neighborhoods. The movement of the train and coming forward, that was where I wanted the focus to be, right here. The people who were walking back and forth here, they always stopped, sometimes silently, other times they'd stop and talk. It was kind of nice to see the same familiar faces. It was almost like I looked for their faces. Every day I look for the same people that I would see, just so I can nod at them. It was just like a comfort, and then I think it was kind of mutual. So, because I felt like they were part of that process. So yeah, it was a good feeling.
Let me tell you a true story. This young cat might be 27, 28. This brother came to one of our pop-ups, and I was trying to, plug him to different resources, specifically jobs. I talked to him, gave him some information, listened to him, and I plugged him with Outpost Foods. And he's still working there right now. This brother called me like a month or so ago. He was like, I just want to say thank you. He was like, you saved my life. He was like, I was done. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do next. Let me know what you need me to do. If you want me to come volunteer, whatever. He was like, I'm safe and sound for life from this. He was like, you just saved my life. I was like, So that right there, is why we do what we do, because you don't know where a person at. And if we can do something to help move people forward, that's what we got to do. So I got to fix myself, because man, that just wore me out right there.
Those of you that know, those of you that know this place, I dare you. You find a seed that doesn't know its worth. You show it its potential, nourish it with floods of love, and then bury it in soil. But don't forget to whisper sweet sentiments in its presence, reminding it that it can grow. Because for every gardener who took the time to make sure I grew, I owe you a part of my life. You were segments of my stem, a foundation at my feet, my roots. So no matter how far I branched out, I've always remembered where I've come from. You've kept me grounded. And I couldn't have made it this far without you. I said I couldn't have made it here without you.